So for me, LATTAFA has been the clone house of choice, if you will, for a good while or a good percentage of my collection. Of course, that is shifting just as my taste change and things of that nature. But I figured it was time to give you what I consider to be the essentials of a LATTAFA collection. So stick around, I've got some things for you today. All right, so what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin, and this is SmellGoodz. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit as we run through more content, more stuff regarding the fragrances that we all love, or we may love to hate, or we just might tolerate, or whatever it may be. Anyway, welcome back. Appreciate you stopping through. As you're coming in, just want to remind you, definitely take advantage of the discount codes that I do have in the description there. Lots of good savings on places like Nazar Fragrances, Decant X, as well as Triple Traders. Definitely do that. And that also helps to support the channel. All right. So as I mentioned, LATTAFA has been one of those clone houses, one of the brands that for me kind of helped me get really far in this fragrance community space. It really kind of was what began to at least show me what's possible. Now, of course, my nose, my taste, a lot of the things have shifted from those early days, but I figured LATTAFA still is a good portion of my collection. And I think that if you're going to have a LATTAFA collection, there are some things that I think might be essential to having as part of your collection. All right. So I'm going to give you 5 things that I think are essential to a LATTAFA collection. But alongside that, I'll give you I'll give you like 4 alternatives that you can kind of mix in there. One is an alternative that is a direct flanker of one, and then others are just kind of, you can interchange based upon your particular taste, your own, what you are looking for as far as your fragrances. All right. Now, not in any particular order, but I did kind of at least say I've got to have at least one of these different categories in my collection. So for LATTAFA, the Assad line is one of the things that I think is an earmark, if you will, of LATTAFA, right? You have a LATTAFA black, you have the Zanzibar. Over on the lady side, you got the white, the pink, the yellow or orange, what have you. So Assad line is pretty, all throughout LATTAFA. So I said for my collection, if I'm going to have an essential, I've got to have a LATTAFA that is an Assad. Now, while back, it would have been the black one, because that blue one, that ain't no good, or it's just not my flavor, not my style. But for me, if I had to have an Assad and it's part of my LATTAFA collection as an essential, we're going to go with the brown one. So LATTAFA Assad Bourbon. This is what I would say is a sweet designer fragrance, not a cloyingly sweet, but definitely kind of in that Most Wanted type of fragrance. It's not a clone of Most Wanted, at least not to my nose, or any of the fragrances in that line. But definitely I think this works and would be one that I would say if you're going to have a LATTAFA collection and you need to have an Assad in it, the Assad Bourbon is going to be the one to go with. All right. Next up is another thing that I think is definitely got to be part of a LATTAFA collection. So an essential part of a LATTAFA collection is going to be a Kamra, right? For me, when I first started jumping into the fragrance community, jumping into the fragrance space, the OG LATTAFA Kamra was one that was like, oh, this is pretty good. In fact, my wife still loves it when I wear it, especially on those cool winter evenings if we're going out, what have you. If I spray it, my wife, if you've been around any time on this channel, her nickname for it is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because it kind of has that kind of cinnamon and all those good things in it, right? But if you're going to have, as far as me, an essential LATTAFA, and it's going to be a Kamra, for me right now, the one that I'm feeling the most is going to be LATTAFA's Kamra Dukan. This is the latest one. This is the newest one. Came out maybe, as of the filming of this, maybe 2 months ago, maybe 3. But yeah, this is Kamra, but with I think a tobacco twist on it. Definitely, I'm feeling this more than the OG Kamra, and I still good with the OG Kamra. Not that the OG Kamra has shifted or anything as far as how I feel about it, but I think for me, if I'm going to have an essentials, and it's going to be a Kamra, for me right now, the Dukan is going to take its place. All right. Next one up, and another thing that is for Lattafa, they have the Bade Al Oud line, right? So, you know, you've got the red one, you've got the white one, you've got the black one, and the purple one. So for me, the essential one is going to be the Bade Al Oud, Oud for Glory. Now, this one is their take on Oud for Greatness by Initio. I just love this smell. It's spicy enough, works great, especially in the fall and winter, works great as an office scent, works great as just a day running around out and about type of scent. This works really well. So for me, this would be the essential one. Now, this is where I'm going to give you an alternative just because it's in the same line. If maybe Oud for Glory is not necessarily your speed or your style, then if I'm going to give you another essential that's still in that Bade Al Oud, for me, the other essential is going to be the amethyst one. So the purple one. This one is going to be, this is their take on Initio's Atomic Rose. So still in that Initio vein too. This just does a good job of it as well. In fact, I'm going to give you a freebie as far as a layering combination. If you have both of these, layer them together, that's magical. All right. So as far as another essential in the Bade Al Oud line in Lattafa, my first choice would be Oud for Glory. If that's not your speed, then amethyst will be the other one. All right. Then another one that is pretty popular as far as the Lattafa line, and something that I think if you're going to build a Lattafa collection, that would be an essential. You need to have something from the Lattafa Pride line. So from the Lattafa Pride line, we're just going to go with Vintage Radio. This is their take on Initio's Paragon. So 3 in a row that are from Initio, cloning Initio. This, phenomenal, pretty close, not a one-to-one, but definitely does a good job of getting you in that space. This is a compliment magnet. This is one that works in a variety of situations and environments. So if you're looking for something and need something from the Lattafa Pride line to round out your Lattafa Essentials collection, Vintage Radio. All right. And then just as far as another Lattafa that is not part of a line, but I think is an essential to have within your collection, just because it does a great job of cloning what it's cloning, does a great job of projecting, performance, lasting, all of those fun things, and is a complement factor, is a mass appeal type fragrance. I'm going to go with Lattafa's The Kingdom. This right here is their take on Jean Paul Gaultier's Lamel Elixir. Definitely does a great job of it. As I've mentioned, compliment magnet. I've been out in the grocery store, we've been at Sprouts, we've been out at church, we've been at a variety of places, and it almost never fails. I'm getting a compliment with this. So Lattafa's The Kingdom. All right. Now, that was my 5 essentials. I gave you one alternative within that. But let me give you 3 others just as a bonus for sticking around this long in the video. I'm gonna give you 3 others that you might want to consider as having part of your Lattafa collection that I think they do different things and do different things very well, which might make them also, they might make a good case for being an essential Lattafa fragrance. First one up is from Lattafa. Well, they're all from Lattafa. I don't know what I'm doing. But from Lattafa, you also have, this is Teriyaki Intense. Now, this isn't original. This is not necessarily a clone of anything that I could find or I could put that I put my nose on. It, to give you kind of the space that it might live in, it is kind of in that Angel Share, in that Kamra type of space, but it's its own thing. This, you start off with saffron and bergamot, but also you got, I think, plum liquor in here, as well as some other things. This right here is a very nice fragrance that for me definitely shot into my top 10 as far as fragrances from Lattafa. And so this might be an essential for you. All right. Another one that I think is an essential, and this is just because I love this fragrance that is cloning. It is something that for me, the OG is going to be full bottle worthy. It is full bottle worthy. I just haven't got the bottle. But this is kind of helping to kind of meet that need for right now. This is Lattafa's Liam Gray. I think it might be a little under the radar. I think some people, though, if it's one of those if you know type fragrances. This is their take on Gris Charnel's, BDK's Gris Charnel. Does a pretty good job of it. Again, not a one-to-one. This is probably in the 90 percentile as far as where it is, but it does such a good job of getting close enough that it definitely scratches that itch for me, but it also performs pretty well. Not beast mode in any way, shape, or form, but decent performance, and it does a good job as far as that fig, that tea, just that fragrance, that Gris Chanel for me has captivated me. All right, so that's another one that might be an alternative. And then the last one is one that does give beast mode performance. It does give, it's a room shifter. It lasts, I'll tell the story every time, it lasts beyond a washing. Sprayed on a shirt, wore it, took it out washed it, took it out the dryer, and it still had the scent on it. We're talking Latafos Amir. This is their take on Clive Christian's Town and Country, and something that definitely, if you're having a collection, you might consider this. This is a good fragrance. Does a very good job. A little elevated as far as just the scent profile. It's not just, to me, it finds itself in a great place for things like weddings, for formal events, what have you, for out, but just not just hanging out, but of course you can wear it as hanging out, whatever you want to wear when you want to wear it, definitely. But this definitely is a good fragrance that I might recommend, and one that could also fit into your essentials as far as LATTAFA. All right, that's it. That's all of them that I'm going to give you. If you've been around the channel, you know that there are some that might be missing. Yep, there might be some that are missing that you might have in your essentials. For me, these are my essentials right now. All right, do me a favor, as always, stay safe, stay sane, stay smelling good. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications, share, and then there's a video here for you to check out, as well as a video here for you to check out. And then, of course, check them both out. Come back, watch another video. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed. Peace.